All right, good afternoon, everybody. Another rainy Saturday. What is this, the 13th rainy Saturday in a row here in Boston, greater Boston? Terrible, but we're not going to let that rain on our parade. It's Leroy and Cerrone. We are going to have fun, as usual. Y'all know the number, 617-779-0985. Get ready to call in and have a grand, phenomenal time with your boys. What's up, George? George behind the glass on the ones and twos. What's up with you, man?
People's Champ in the building. You already know.
Oh, yeah. Again, the number, 617-779-0985. Cerrone, you in the building?
No, we are still having technical difficulties in North Carolina. T-minus a couple minutes here.
All right. Cerrone, do your thing. Normally, we go right into introducing the music of the day. I guess you guys can figure out what we're going to talk about. You know, the Red Sox, Yankees. That was great. Obviously, the NBA Finals is going down. We got some other things lined up, too. And I got to give you guys some information on something. How can I put this? We had this person in last season. He used to play for the New England Patriots, linebacker, Super Bowl champ. He's not coming in today, but there's an event for those people who want to still kind of be an athlete, maybe even a pro athlete. I got to give you some information because you may have an opportunity to live out that dream again. And obviously, tomorrow is Father's Day. So I know a lot of people are expecting there to be Father's Day music, but I got to be honest. I couldn't do it. Every time I looked up a Father's Day song or sat back and thought about one, I'm like, listen, if it's going to be raining, I don't want to add on to the depression. Father's Day music is the worst music in music history. It's either about deadbeat dads or dead dads. I kid you not. Temptations. Papa was a rolling stone. Wherever he laid his hat was his home. And when he died, you really think I'm going to come in here and play that? No. Then I heard some people tell me, you know what, Luther Vandross, if I could dance with, in that song, he's talking about his dead father. Why do I want to come in and play depressing Father's Day music? So here's what I'm going to do. And hopefully next year, if Cerrone and I are still here, which I hope we are, musicians out there, could you please create some Father's Day music with some energy, with some spunk, with some pizzazz? And can it be great? I get it. Father's Day is probably the worst holiday of all holidays. And I'm a father, and it hurts my heart to say it. I don't know how many holidays there are. Maybe, let's say there's 25 holidays. Father's Day, for whatever reason, is at the bottom of the list. It shouldn't be, but it is.
26th. One of the least celebrated holidays.
There's 26?
No, I would say out of 25, they're 26.
Oh, yeah. Right. It's just, nobody cares. And I'm not here crying and whining, complaining. I'm not doing that. I'm just telling it like it is. It's been that way before I was born. It's been that way since I've been born. And it's going to be that way after I'm long gone on to glory. Father's Day. Now, if you are blessed to have your father in your life, and that father has been involved, has shown you love, please, on behalf of all fathers, I'm going to say, please just show them some love tomorrow. Put some effort into it. Because the truth of the matter is, and I'm going to speak for a lot of fathers out there, they don't say this, but I'm going to say it for them. Most fathers feel unappreciated, and they don't say anything about it. Every day, fathers, if you're out there and you agree, hit me up, 617-779-0985. Doesn't it feel like your whole purpose is to give out when people come to you with their hands out like, I need? No one asks you, what do you need? No one asks how you feel. I'm here to remind you guys, or tell you guys, fathers, you are not put here on earth to simply provide and die. And we love to provide. Don't get me wrong. But that's not the only reason why you're here. You should be able to enjoy life too. Receive the love and affection too. I said I wasn't going to vent. I wasn't going to go off. And I know this is a sports show. And I'm supposed to have my energy up. It's up. But every year I got to go off on this. I just have to. Anyways, let's move on because I don't want to waste too much time. Good Lord, I got to calm down. I got to breathe. Cerrone, you in the building? Maybe not yet. Anyways, let's do the music of the day. Today is, what's today, the 14th? Yes, the 14th, because yesterday was Friday the 13th. Ooh. So today's music is dedicated to an artist who we lost back in 1996, considered one of the greatest MCs to ever do it. His birthday is June 16th. He was born in 1971. I'm talking about the late, great Tupac Shakur.
The blind stares of a million pairs of eyes, looking hard but won't realize that they will never see the peace.
Yes, man.
See, you feel that energy? That energy is so much better than Papa was a Rolling Stone. It's so much better than hearing about how Daddy just disappeared or he died. I tried my best, people. I really, really did. I looked up Father's Day songs, and I just couldn't find anything to touch my soul. Now, I know there are going to be some people who say, hey, Mother's Day songs are soft, and they don't have all that energy. I don't know why, and I can't explain how. It just is what it is. It works on Mother's Day. It really does.
We love them more.
Yeah. I hate saying that, but it's okay to be affectionate towards mothers, and they deserve it. They pushed us out. God bless them. God bless them. But fathers, we deserve better. So again, I'm putting it out there to the musicians of the world. Please create some Father's Day music that we can rock to, because this ain't it. Cerrone, how you doing, man?
I'm doing all right, man. Sorry, technical difficulties. Got the these AI updates on my computer trying to make me do things I don't want to do. Mm-hmm. So my Skynet became aware about 15 minutes ago. So I hate this stuff. I hate it. I didn't ask for AI companion on my computer. I didn't want that, and it just popped up. Sorry about that.
Cerrone, we are here until 5 o'clock, and I know there are going to be some people who are like, why are they going on and on about Father's Day? But it's that one time of year we get to kind of vent and be heard, because for 364 days, no one listens. No one cares. Matter of fact, it might be 365 because I feel like nobody cares at all, man. I'm tired. All I do is give. I barely get thank yous.
You just see all the commercials about stuff you could use for work.
I don't want socks. I don't want tools. I don't want a tie. I don't want underwear. I don't want
a lawnmower.
drawers. I don't want a lawnmower.
You want a nailer so you can do your own roof?
I don't want to be on the grill on Father's Day. Could you imagine asking your mother to cook on Mother's Day?
No, go change the transmission. With these new tools we bought you.
Fellas, I know you hear me. We're going to pause for a second. Of course, we're going to get to sports. We're going to pause for a second. Fellas, fathers, good fathers, those fathers that are in the lives of their children, I know you hear me and I know you feel me. You've been dying to get some things off of your chest.
Oh, snap.
Hit us up. You can be anonymous. 617-779-0985. You can be anonymous. We will protect you. I wish we had the technology in here to disguise their voices. Cerrone, I also work, for those who don't know, I also work on Hot 96.9 Boston. Mm-hmm. Friday morning, I gave this theory.
Award-winning producer down the hall.
You know what? I appreciate you.
Award-winning show producer.
I appreciate you.
Sorry.
I gave this theory about why Mother's Day, in my opinion, may get more love, way more love. And I don't think Father's Day will ever catch up. But I had this theory on why Mother's Day gets more love than Father's Day. And don't you know? Women called in and just chewed me out. And the theory is, can we be in agreement? Please don't be mad at me. can we be in agreement that typically, not all the time, but in general, who, men or women, who tend to be more emotional?
It's the ladies.
Okay. I'm not saying anything crazy.
No.
And what tends to happen is, and I remember this because I was a kid with a mother who on Mother's Day, I had to say to myself, do I really want to see how my mother may feel or react if I don't do anything special for her for Mother's Day? Now, my mother.
So you're doing it out of fear?
No, I think I'm not doing it out of fear. I think fear does play, not fear. Well, let's just use fear.
Disappointment and you don't want to let anybody
plays
down.
A role in making sure you do your absolute best for your mother. Plus, you love them. That's first and foremost.
Yeah.
But with fathers, you're kind of like, they'll be fine. Sunday will come. They won't get anything. And you know what most fathers are going to say?
He'll get over it.
Yeah, I got to go to work tomorrow morning anyways. It's all good.
Yep.
You can literally walk into a father's room and say, hey, happy Father's Day, and go back to playing games. And there's no consequences.
Yeah.
You do that on Mother's Day? Typically, not all. I'm not putting everybody in the same bucket. But typically, all the disappointment. After all I've done for you kids. After all I've done for you husband. And this is it?
You're going to get somebody in trouble today.
Yeah, I got cussed out Friday. Fathers, if you feel me, if you know what I'm talking about, hit us up. 617-779-0985. We'll keep you anonymous. We're going to take a quick break. And then when we get back, sports. Oh, Cerrone, we talked about the Red Sox and Yankees rivalry last week.
Mm-hmm.
Last night, I got that feeling.
All it took was a week.
I think they heard us. We'll talk about that next. It's Leroy and Cerrone, 98.5 The Sports Hub.
You're listening to Leroy and Cerrone on the Leroy Irvin and Cerrone battle on Boston's home for sports. 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Hamilton at third. Devers at second. 2 down. And the 1-2 to Narvaez. Swinging a shot. Coming back toward the wall. It's way back there. That is off the green. The Red Sox walking off against the Yankees. In 10, 2-1. Carlos Narvaez beats his old team.
You had to get the sinker up. It said 2 strikes. This guy can hit. He gets one up, drives it off the green. Monster. Big night here at Fenway. Crochet deserved this win, but this team deserves it more. That was a great win for this team right now.
Yeah, Sox have won 3 in a row. They've won 6 of their last 8, and they take game 1 against the Yankees dramatically in 10 by a final score of 2-1.
All right, welcome back. 98.5 The Sports Hub. We were in Cerrone. We're here until 5 o'clock. And you heard it there. That was the walk-off single to give the Red Sox the win over the Yankees in game 1 of a 3-game series. And Cerrone, like I said before, we went to break. You know, last week we talked about how can this rivalry between the Red Sox and the Yankees get that juice again. Mm-hmm. You know, remember the movie Juice with Tupac in it?
Yes.
You know, and what happened at the end?
You got the juice now.
Yeah, you got the juice now. Can I be honest? I know it's just one game. I really don't care.
No, it's 6 out of 8.
Well, yeah, 6 out of 8. But I for me last night, I know it was just one game. I know that the team didn't have on their traditional uniforms. I know that when the Red Sox won, Fenway Park flickered the lights and did all that gimmicky stuff. I know that it wasn't an offensive just juggernaut of a game and we just got to see home runs and all that. No. But I felt that I felt like the rivalry got the juice, at least for last night. It felt right. Maybe it was because it was Friday night. I don't know, but it felt special.
Well, that plays a part of it. Friday night, Red Sox Yankees. You're coming off a decent week. You got the injection of youth.
Oh yeah,
on the roster. So you have more people were unlike Stephen A. in his phone. They were into the game because there was something to actually look forward to seeing.
Right.
You know, even if you weren't able to watch the game on TV, you were out, you were doing whatever it might be. People were checking their phones, they were watching the score, they were refreshing over and over again. There's an interest. And when there's an interest in the team, when they play a good team, a rival, it magnifies. And then when you get a walk-off win, you get that magic feeling, even if it is for just one night, you know, just a Friday night, you know, coming into the summer. So, yeah, I mean, all those things played into the feeling you got after watching that game last night. If they would have had a bad week and won that game last night, it wouldn't have felt the same. But because they had a good week, because people got a chance to see Roman Anthony do his thing, yep, and all the other young guys contribute in major ways all week, winning games for this team, all that played into your emotions you got last night. And we know how fans get around here. All it takes is a good week. A good week, you're like, yeah, I mean, we can make it. A bad week, I'm like, no, it fire everybody. You see how fast things change?
Right.
But I think it was overall it was a good week for everybody. And everybody looks like a genius now playing the young guys, and they contributed in key ways, like I mentioned a minute ago. But I think it wasn't just last night's game. It was the previous games that led up to that. It was last weekend series. There was a little momentum coming into it. And for them to come away with a one-run victory, you know, it was a good feeling, and all of it played a part in how you felt last night. I think it was just that one moment. It was a good week of baseball for this team.
All right, 617-779-0985 is the number. Red Sox fans, how are you feeling? How are you feeling? Did you feel that Yankees-Red Sox rivalry kind of, I don't know, what do you call it, Cerrone? If we're going to what would I call it? Did you feel a little? Did your heart skip a beat? Did you feel like, okay, yeah, this thing might be back? And more importantly, the Red Sox in general, like you said, Cerrone, they won 6 out of their last 8.
Mm-hmm. I think it was.
Are they contenders again?
I wouldn't go that far yet.
Not contenders as far as the World Series. I'm saying I should have
playoff contenders.
Playoff contenders, yes.
I mean, I don't know. They have such a long way to go. My God, the Celtics, Tatum will be back again before the season's over. But it's crazy how long it is. But I think what they are now is interesting. They're worth watching. I think it's worth tuning in. Okay, what are they doing? Let's see. Okay, it's a 3-3 game in the fifth. Let me turn it on. 2 weeks ago, it was like you were just looking at your phone. Like, I want to see Mission Impossible. I'll find out who won tomorrow. Like you really didn't care because you didn't feel there was anything. We were all waiting for them to play the young guys. Now the young guys are out there. Now they're contributing, and now they're winning. On top of it, now you're like, okay, maybe they're worth tuning in. Now we're gonna watch, and hopefully nothing crazy happens to where we're shutting them off for another week. But now it's building off this week. Okay, look, what can you do? It's series by series. What can you do this weekend? Okay, what you gonna give me starting your next series after that? It's series by series, game by game with this team because it can change just like it changed for a positive for them this week. Something can happen and throw it back to where it was 2 weeks ago. So I think now you kind of keep an eye on them. You watch them. You pay attention. People are more interested in this team. Might want to go to a game, spend a couple dollars. Some nice weather's coming, hopefully. So all that plays into it. But I don't think people have gone in just yet like, okay, it's a playoff team. Here we go. They've hit their stride. I don't think we've gotten there yet. I think we're just at the okay. They're interesting. We're watching them a little closer now than we were last week.
George, you got something to say?
Yeah, to pick on Cerrone's point, I love what you said with the stacking series. That's why I tell the wife, if the Red Sox can just take 2 out of 3, 3 out of 4, sweep here and there, they're going to be just fine. If they can play that kind of baseball, kind of floating above water. They've clawed hard to get a game under 500 now. But with the playoffs being expanded the way it is, right? I agree. Kicking the tires on a playoff spot would be okay. We had kind of the ebbs and flows of the season. We had kind of the slow start end of March and kind of hot April. After the first slow start of the season with Baltimore, and we got to 16-11. Bad May, 11-17. Now for the start of June and through 11 games, they're 7-4. 6 out of the last 8, as you guys have highlighted. I think we're starting to bring the excitement back, and quite the reversal of last week where we just had no interest in that Bronx series with the Yankees, and now we kind of got some juice now with the Hunter Dobbins and winning. Crochet, you kind of owning Judge, and then the tying home run there in the 9th was. Romantical. A little mislocation, but you got to tip the cap. That's a 100-mile-an-hour pitch inside. The first one that was low, but grabbed too much of the plate, so tip of the cap to Judge. But they're bringing the excitement back. I'm glad that they're winning these close games, to your point, Cerrone, too. Oh, yeah. Hey, Cerrone, real quick, you said you've been one of the people who have been screaming for there to be a youth movement for a while, especially when it comes to Roman Anthony. All right, so that has happened. Just, do you think they waited too long still? Do you want them to remain? What's the deal? How are you feeling about that?
I think they should remain. I mean, you might have some veterans that might feel a little salty, like, they haven't done nothing. They haven't really proven nothing. I'm a proven vet, whatever. But I think in so many ways it makes sense for this team. You got to play these guys. I think they're talented. We've all known they've been the top prospects in baseball for some time now. Everybody's been. It's the hype wasn't just local. Like tonight, they play on Fox. That's all they're going to be talking about are these young players. These are guys that around the league people wanted to see play. So I think it'd be hard to take them and say, okay, thanks for your services and throw them all back. Because you can mess with their confidence. And if you do it, if they have nothing to do with it, you send these guys back. And all of a sudden, you lose 4 out of 5. You lose 6 out of 8. Even if it's nothing to do with these young guys, guess what the fans are going to say?
Yeah, they're going to point the finger. Yeah.
They're going to point the finger at you. You made this move. You ruined you killed momentum. What is Cora thinking? Cora's back to being a bad guy again. What are they doing upstairs? What are we doing here? Why? That's the first thing that's going to happen is they're going to get blamed for this. you're in a tailspin now, and all of a sudden now you're selling off everybody at the trade deadline. I mean, that's how it happens. But I think you got to play these guys. I think once you put them out there, they're out there. I think people are ready to buy in on these guys. And the reason people are going to show up, the reason you felt special about it is because you were watching these young guys play. Mm-hmm. And if they are contributing, and Mayo did the other day, a couple home runs in one game. You saw, Roman Anthony with the huge double a couple games ago. You're seeing these guys contribute. And I think fans don't want to see him go back because there was nothing compelling and nothing to watch with this team. This was, I hate to switch sports, this was the Patriots until Halloween last year. It was. That's true. We were all sitting there like, when you going to play Drake May? Yep. And then half the people saying, no, don't throw him out there. This team's a mess. Don't put him out there. Sit him the whole year. There's no reason to play him. We don't know why they sat him, why they're going to play. We didn't know what was going on. But once he stepped on that field, the last thing any of us wanted to see again was Jacoby Brissett. Mm-hmm. That means either he got hurt or he wasn't ready. We didn't want to see that. So this is the Red Sox in the same situation. Roman Anthony's your Drake May now. He out there now. You can't. The jerseys are they're going to start selling. I'm going to get mine. I got one in the 2X. I mean, I got one. Look, they're going to start flying off the shelves. He's going to be a fan favorite. People are going to spend money to come see him. Right. And this ties into something I heard Magic Johnson say the other day. How do you know if you have a future superstar on your team? If he sells out the building. If people come to see him more than the team, if people want to cheer for him on the road, you have yourself a superstar. And Roman Anthony, the Roman Empire, all this stuff, people taking videos of him in the car. He might be that guy that people pay money to go see, and it's something that this team has really been lacking.
That's what's up. 617-779-0985 is the number when we get back. We mentioned Father's Day. There's somebody's on the phone. They want to have a Father's Day song played. Well, I'll talk to them. And speaking of Father's Day, wasn't too long ago, Tom Brady was the daddy of the NFL. Oh, yes, sir.
He still is.
He still might be. Something's going down in August. We got to talk about that, too, concerning Tom Brady. I'm Leroy Irvin. He's Cerrone Battle. It's 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Stay tuned for more from Two local guys, lots of local sports talk. Leroy Irvin and Cerrone battle on Boston's home for sports. 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Collie and Tompkins left. Brady throws it to the end zone for Kenbrell Tompkins. Leaping. He got it! Touchdown! Patriots! Kenbrell Tompkins!
Brady's back! That's your quarterback! Who left the building? Unicorns! Show ponies! Where's the beef?
George, is there a box of tissues in this place? You can't play clips like that and not tell me that you're about to do it. Oh my goodness, I just got so emotional. Maybe I didn't realize what we had in Tom Brady. Oh,
Tried to tell you.
oh my God.
I tried to tell you. I told you I seen him walking across Jamaica Pond. No shoes on.
Oh,
Across the pond, not around it. He's walking across the pond.
he turned.
I told you then.
He turned beer into wine. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
He turned water into Gatorade right in the locker room.
Water into Gatorade. 985 The Sports Hub. It's Leroy and Cerrone.
He won games with Kenbrell Tompkins. That's bigger than turning water into Gatorade. Once he said his name, I'm like, I forgot that guy was in the league.
I'm sorry, George. Can you play that one more time? That touched a nerve. That almost brought out a tear. I kid you not. I'm not joking. I'm not being extra. I'm not putting on for the radio. I felt the tear.
Collie and Tompkins left. Brady throws it to the end zone for Kenbrell Tompkins. Leaping. He got it! Touchdown! Patriots! Kenbrell Tompkins!
Brady's back! That's your quarterback! Who left the building? Unicorns! Show ponies! Where's the beef?
Zoe's losing his voice. Just the excitement.
It had to be great times for him.
Oh,
my God.
God.
It had to be so good to show up to work every Sunday morning.
It was great times for all of us, Cerrone.
Yeah, yes, it
Cerrone,
was.
think about it. And I know things have changed
have they?
when it comes to our circumstances. I'm talking about, our families and stuff. But there was a time our families would get together every Sunday.
It was like going to church.
It was church.
Go see Brady of
you
Nazareth.
called it way back then. No, that's not Gillette Stadium. It's the Potter's house.
Potter's house. It's the house that Brady built.
And now,
Yo,
go ahead.
Kenbrell Tompkins. Think about it. Tom Brady's playing. It never was a discussion in OTAs who the receivers were going to be. No one cared.
No one cared. Yeah.
It wasn't a discussion in training camp, preseason. We didn't even care. As long as that dude was quarterback and the other guy had on a Patriot uniform, it could have been Mike Vrabel, a linebacker, playing tight end in the Super Bowl. We didn't even care. Just throw it to anybody. Whoever gets open, throw it to him. We didn't care. And think about that. When you have a quarterback of that level, there's no one on that level. It didn't matter who. All the comparisons of Patrick Mahomes, all the conversations about Pat Mahomes the last 2-3 years. Who's his receivers? Oh, they letting him down.
Yeah.
Oh, they're not getting open.
Yeah.
Oh, his offensive line didn't do nothing against the Eagles. Well, Tom Brady, we didn't care. It didn't matter. Okay, fine. Well, offensive line is bad. I'm going to throw the ball in less than a second. We've all seen the clip of the Chargers with Bosa saying, man, he's too fast. Can he slow down so we can at least get time to get to him? And he's just throwing one step gone. It didn't matter. Offensive line's bad. Okay, I got a good offensive line. I'm going to stand here for 10 seconds until whoever comes open. And I'm going to be accurate with the ball. Snowstorm, I'll be accurate. Rain, blizzard, I'll be accurate. It doesn't matter. I don't care if it's Ed Reed and Ray Lewis. Got them. Legion of Boom. Got them too. Who was the greatest defense of the last 10 years? Got him. Pat Mahomes got him. Drew Brees, him too. Rodgers, see you later. Hall of Famers, Peyton Manning, see you later. Bye. McNabb, bye. Didn't matter. Kurt Warner, take your MVPs, go. Bye.
Cerrone, for the past, I'd say 2 seasons, general manager conversation has been one of the dominant topics here in New England.
Mm-hmm.
We never cared when Tom Brady was here.
We didn't care who worked in the front
We
office.
didn't care. We didn't talk about it like we have for about the past 2 seasons.
I didn't know nobody's job titles and descriptions. No one was Googling what these people did.
George, that clip was like kicking me in the guts. I wanted to say somewhere else, but that's what it felt like. And on August 8th, this summer, the GOAT, his statue, will be revealed to the world. Cerrone, the only thing we know about this statue is that it's 12 feet tall.
Okay, makes sense.
I get it, and I know people have their idea of how they want this thing to look, but we can get into that too. But I also saw something on Twitter X, Cerrone. I need you to respond to this.
Okay.
Albert Breer, he said Tom Brady is the greatest of all time, but there have been a lot of Tom Brady ceremonies. And Cerrone, you responded to that. What do you say to people who think it's been maybe, and I'm not saying Albert Breer means this, but it sounds like he's suggesting we're celebrating the man a little bit too much. How do you feel about that?
First of all, for the Patriots to celebrate him like this is beyond deserved. It should be a holiday in New England where everybody wears a 12 when they go to work. I'm joking, but I'm not.
All the kids.
The financial impact.
At noon.
Think about the financial impact of Tom Brady in New England.
Yeah.
The economic impact of that dude. I know they used to track stuff like that when LeBron James gets traded away and what he does to the state or city he's playing and all this other stuff. The economic impact. Like I always said, before he got there, the only thing out there was Spooky World and a cranberry bog. Mm-hmm. But the impact of Tom Brady, the winning, he's the greatest player in the greatest sport in American history. He should be celebrated. And the fact that he finally gets a statue, it's like, okay, that's cool. Man, the owner of the Carolina Panthers got a statue. Tom Brady can't get a statue? Think about all the statues that are put up around. Yeah, D-Wade, that little tiny, that's a statue he deserved. One that's just terrible. It's mad overrated. Mm-hmm. If he can get a statue, Tom Brady can get a statue. The 76ers got like 5 statues of players out there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Iverson is celebrated from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania every year. He didn't win a single championship. And I love AI. We talked about him last week. There's players all around the league that are constantly celebrated. We watch the Knicks and Pacers series, and they're rolling out old Knicks players every single day. They're celebrated with documentaries and just random appearances, and they didn't win. But the guy who won, 7 Super Bowls gets a statue, and it's like, he's too much. And not the Paulin Breer. A lot of people said it. Mm-hmm. A lot of people feel he's getting too much. It's like, Pat Mahomes is getting it now. He ain't even half of what this dude's done.
I was just about to say, Cerrone, I'd argue that Tom Brady should have gotten a statue while he was still playing.
Yes.
If Michael Jordan could get one.
Yes.
And I hate to, and you may disagree, folks. I know
Jordan had 3 championships and had that statue.
And he had that statue. And the truth of the matter is that when it comes to football, it's not even an argument. Tom Brady is on that level. Him and Jordan are neck and neck in their respective sport. He probably should have gotten one while he was playing.
Yeah. And I think the Patriots have done a lot for Brady, which they should have. But the NFL still got low-key hate. The NFL they don't talk about Tom Brady the way other sports talk about their great players.
Yeah.
They still talking about LT and John Elway.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They'll talk about Peyton Manning. They'll talk about everybody else all the time. Tom Brady's still like, oh, yeah, and then there was Tom Brady.
The fact that they pushed the narrative of Mahomes before the Super Bowl, possibly passing him, that tells me a lot. It's like, man, they're just trying to move on to the next. I totally agree with what you're saying.
He's got 60,000 less yards and 4 less Super Bowls, and you're like, he's close.
Like, what are we talking
he's
about?
3 careers away. What do you mean close?
Right. 617-779-0985. We got to take a quick break. But when we get back, this statue was happening on August 8th versus the Commanders in game 1 of the preseason? The preseason? We got to talk about that. And you guys hit us up. 617-779-0985. How are you feeling about the top? What do you want this statue to look like? Let us know. It's 98.5 The Sports Hub.
More Leroy Irvin. Leroy Irvin and Cerrone battle. Leroy and Cerrone on Boston's Home for Sports. 98.5 The Sports Hub.
The Sports Hub. Leroy Irvin, he's Cerrone battle. Real quick, can I tell you my favorite part of this song?
What's that?
It's when KC goes, Alizé. It's my favorite part. It's just an ad-lib next time you hear the whole song. And KC does it. Nights full of Alizé, Alizé.
Shout out to Casey. My favorite first line for any R&B song is from Fiend, and if you know, you know.
Take my money, my house, and my car.
All right, that's how you end up with Father's Day in the first place. Keep playing.
One hitters. Let me stop. Yeah, it is Father's Day tomorrow too. We were going to do Father's Day music, but Father's Day music is just
that would have been great Father's Day music. The music he played.
Baby making music. We should have did baby.
That would have been
music.
It. Become Father's Day music.
I can't leave you. Let me stop. Before we went to break, we were talking about the daddy of the NFL, Tom Brady. He was getting a statue. It's going to be at Gillette. It's going to be 12 feet tall. He deserves
about 100 feet shorter than I thought it was going to be.
Shut up.
I wanted to look like the one down in Brazil, but no one wanted to listen to me.
Up. You what's it called? Jesus Cerrone, shut up. That's
what it should have been. As you're coming up over the horizon, you see Brady's statue sitting there. There's nothing else out there. What are they going to take up?
There should be 3 Brady statues. There should be one for coming out of the tunnel. We go in college where all the players got to touch it. I read somewhere. No, let me not, because I'll get in trouble with my church people. No, you know what? I'm saying it.
Oh, snap. Go ahead.
I heard if you touch the hem.
I say the hem of his jersey.
You might have a really good game. That's where it should be. There's one should be in the tunnel. The second one, Cerrone, which is the main one, the 12-foot one, should be, at the entrance or, right there near the Hall of Fame, something like that.
Right in the middle as you come in, yeah.
And then the third one should be on top of the lighthouse.
Which one would you put up there? What image of Brady would you put up there?
Something with his hands raised. It's got to look like the Statue of Liberty. Something that resembles that, but you put it on top of the Gillette. Hey, come on, folks. We'll play it. 617-779-0985. Again, August 8th, game 1 of the preseason against the Commanders. There's got to be a really good explanation why they're doing this. I don't know. I don't know if you know, Cerrone, but to me, that seems just stupid.
It does. I guess that this is a flat out guess because of his role on TV and his ownership role. Mm-hmm. Does he have obligations to be other places on Sundays? Like he's got to be in Vegas or is he got to be doing his thing with Fox? Mm-hmm. And it was like, when are you available? It was like, man, first preseason game. That's all I got. Let's go on and get it out the way and knock it out there. But I mean, it's a good way to get a packed house for a preseason game. I tell you that. You're going to sell. It's going to be playoff prices to get in there. And I just want to go. I just want to put that out there. I just want to be there for that one, y'all.
No. You need to be a little bit more specific.
What
Say
you mean?
it with your chest, man. You trying to be in the building.
I want to be in the building. I want to be right there. I don't. Here's why. I don't want my face to be the one caught on camera when the statue is terrible. I don't want to be the dude like, oh no, who'd y'all get to do this? Like, nah, I'm gonna be hurt if that statue's a mess.
Oh my God. 617-779-0985 is the number. Let's go to Bobby in Worcester. What's up, Bobby?
What's going on, gentlemen? Great show as always.
Appreciate it.
I'm thrilled with the statue. Long deserved. I think it should be him holding the Lombardi. But what still makes me sick is I saw our NFL put a clip the other day, and he's talking to the Raiders and the facility with the Raiders. Another fumble by Kraft for not giving him a percentage of the Patriots. It's not like he's asking for 50%. He should be a Patriot for life.
Appreciate it, Bobby. I mean, I don't know
point.
too many Patriot fans that would disagree with him at all. I'm with him.
He shouldn't have to ask. It should have been, here you go. Here's half. You built this place. Come on now. How much was the team worth when he got drafted? Come on now. About
million?
What? You said what, 200 million?
No, I said a few $100 million, probably.
Yeah, about maybe.
Let me look that up.
Maybe?
Mm-hmm.
How much did Kraft pay for the team?
Let's see.
And what are they worth now? How many billions? Come on now. At Brady's height, how much were they worth? It was them, the Cowboys, and one of the soccer teams.
Robert Kraft in 1994, according to Google, paid $172 million.
Mm-hmm.
And now
he didn't pay Tom Brady $172 million. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
The Patriots are worth about $6 billion.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're going to need about half. Yeah, here you go. At least here's 25%. You only brought in $5 billion for us. Thanks for that. But I mean, he should. I would love to see him as one of the owners on the team. Now, maybe he didn't. Maybe he wanted not a challenge, but maybe he wanted something outside of New England. Everything I've been doing has been Patriots.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm out here. I'm gonna live out on the West Coast, whatever. Maybe he just wanted a different challenge or something different. It's kind of like, well, I know it's not the same, but Jordan wanted a piece of a team too. He had to go to Washington to get a piece. And then they had to go out there and play basketball for them to earn extra money for the team. But he should have been, if he wanted a piece of a team, the Bulls should have been like, here you go, man. You know, he shouldn't have to go through that. I know there's a lot of ex-players who own pieces of teams they didn't play for. I don't know why owners don't do that. Don't give their franchise guy, the face of their franchise, a piece or offer it to him. But I'm pretty sure when LeBron comes around, he'll probably get a piece of a team, but it won't be one of the teams he played for. I don't know why it works out that maybe somebody way smarter than me knows this, but I maybe it's personal. Now I'm going to do something else over here and try and get my own thing. Or maybe the owner's like, nah, I done gave you enough. I done paid you your salaries and everything else. You go do your own thing. I don't know, but yeah, I agree with the caller. He should have been offered at least a percentage of this team.
All right, y'all keep the calls coming in, 617-779-0985. We've been talking about a lot of things, including Father's Day. George, if you could pause that for 1 second. I'm going to take Kevin just to hear what he got to say. Kevin has a Father's Day song request. What's up, Kevin?
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking the call, and happy Father's Day Eve. Hey, Leroy, you nailed it earlier when you characterized all the Father's Day songs as really crushing the fathers. It's unbelievable. Yes. And so I had a quick observation. One of the all-time standard greats for Mother's Day is The Intruders, I'll Always Love My Mama.
Yes, yes.
And it is a tremendous song, giving Mama her flowers. But they take a gratuitous swipe at Papa in that, if you remember, and they have him being out all night, lint balls all over, drinking more wine than we used to. And so not only are they praising Mama on Mama's Day, but crushing Father at the same time.
Oh, Kevin, you're making it worse. But he's right.
I didn't notice that. Good stuff.
Right, listen,
I didn't notice that.
Let's take a break. I got the sports update. We got you with that, and then we get back. More of this Tom Brady stuff. Because, I don't know. We're going to need you all to put on your hat as if you were a player for the New England Patriots. We're going to ask you a question. And it has to do with Tom Brady. Please stick around and be prepared to give us an answer. The number is 617-779-0985. Steve, I see you in the car. Be safe out there. We're going to get to you next. It's 985 The Sports Hub.
From the Telford Type Studios, WBZ-FM and HD1. It's not just the games. It's Toucher and Hardy, Zolak and Bertrand, Felger and Maz, Joe Murray. For Boston sports fans, it's 98.5 The Sports Hub. Beasley Media Group Station. Essential Sports Hub headline presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
All right, is the thrill of the Sox and Yankees rivalry, on the come up once again? I don't know. Maybe it is. Great pitching by both teams, ejections, A ninth inning home run by Aaron Judge to tie the game, but in extra innings, Carlos Narvaez hit a walk-off RBI single off the Green Monster, and the Sox got the win 2-1. Game 2 of this 3-game series goes down tonight at 7:15. In the NBA Finals, the Thunder stormed back. I'm sorry, I make myself laugh. I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't know if you caught that. In the NBA Finals, the Thunder stormed back in the fourth quarter. They got the dub behind SGA's 35 points. Final score 111-104. Game 5 is Monday. 7:30 tonight, the Revs and FC Cincinnati, and tonight is Game 5 of the Stanley Cup Finals between the Panthers and Oilers. Series is tied at 2 games apiece. The puck drops at 8. The Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by the 99 Restaurants. Visit the 9s this Father's Day. Visit the 99s this Father's Day weekend for a great lineup of menu specials Dad will love, like the new 18-ounce, oh my God, T-bone steak. Woo! Sounds delicious. You gotta love the 9s. I'm Leroy Irvin. Your next update is in an hour.
New England plays here.
Ball down the right side. There's a separation. Yeah. Touchdown pass. Yes. Perfect dive from Drake May.
98.5, the Sports Hub. Taking your calls, giving hot takes. Leroy Irvin and Cerrone battle on 98.5, the Sports Hub.
One time. Hey, Cerrone, remember when we used to do play action sports?
Yes, sir.
Remember when we played this song and I started singing? I'm going to do it again. Turn it up. Every other city we go. Every other video. No matter where I go, I see the same. This is Tupac Saturday because Father's Day music is just too depressing. I'm sorry. And we're both fathers. Matter of fact, all 3 of us are fathers. But I couldn't do it to the listeners. I couldn't put you to sleep or make you depressed.
I know songs like somebody's already gone, and it's like there's nothing. It just can't be. I didn't even know the Intruder song gets on pops like that. I got to go back and listen now.
It'd be stuff like, Daddy walked out the door. I found Mama on the floor. Crying to God. I didn't know what to do. So I'm singing this song for you. Stupid stuff like you're like, I can't do that. I can't play that for the people. Anyways, we were talking about the daddy. Some may say the granddaddy of the NFL. The GOAT, Tom Brady. He's getting a statue August 8th at Gillette Stadium. We've suggested that he should get 3, but we were just joking. But anyways, a 12-foot tall statue.
Too small.
During the first game of the preseason against the Commanders. Kind of whack right there. But let's go to Steve in the car. Steve, how you feeling about this whole thing?
Hey, how you doing, guys? Happy Father's Day weekend.
Same to you. If you're a father.
They should have, if they're going to do the statue thing, it should have been for opening day against the Raiders. To me, that's appropriate. I mean, that's where, tuck rule game. Why not do it then?
It's part of ownership. Should be in the building.
Appreciate it. I didn't even realize. I don't know why that didn't cross my mind. The first game is against the Raiders?
That is true.
Well, I mean, okay, let's be honest. For Patriot fans, that would have been nice, but for the Raiders organization, you don't want to do that. That's kind
of... Who knows what Brady's obligations might be on the Fox end is probably where they got the conflict of interest.
Yeah. In a different dimension. that makes
be ultra
sense.
Petty.
Yes. But you can't do that. You can't.
Maybe they went through the schedule and was like, nah, I'm not going to do it to them. Nah. I had to look this up real quick.
Mm-hmm.
The statue I keep referencing is the Christ the Redeemer in Rio de Janeiro.
You're stupid, Cerrone. You better.
No, we're going to get to the bottom of this. How come there's plenty of room for this, by the way.
Okay.
It's 98 feet tall. That doesn't include the pedestal that it sits on. That's 26 feet. And it weighs 635 metric tons. That's the way you show some love. Something the size of the Statue of Liberty as you're pulling up to the stadium. Like it's a 12. I mean, you ain't gonna be able to see it through the crowd. Like, oh, there it is. Like, come on, man. It's Tom Brady. I understand the whole 12, whatever. Now I'm just concerned. What image did they use for Tom Brady? Yeah. What is the mold, the model? And anything short of him with the coat on, with the shoulder pads, like with the coat blowing in the background, anything short of that to me is a failure.
Because it gives him that Superman look.
It looks like he's all business.
Yeah.
All business. Like he just cussed out the offensive line. And the coach is sitting there. Anything short of that, I'm sorry. And then the other question I have for you, Leroy. George, you too. The listeners. Okay, his Brady statue goes up. Give me 3 more. Who going up? Who else getting a statue in Foxborough? We can't have Brady with the only statue. He's the only one in the history of the team.
Ooh.
Is anybody going out there with him? Are we going to end up with a courtyard of greats?
I don't know. I think I can't see 2 other players from that era getting one. I can't. And there's a lot of great players, but it all goes back to him to some degree. If you're going to choose a player, I would think they would be on the defensive side of the ball, but I can't think of anyone.
Gronk?
Because he's attached
he's all-time
to Brady.
Great tight end.
He is, but he's attached to Brady.
Yeah, but you can't limit the offense. Even some of the old players. Now that you've got this area, you're gonna put Brady's statue. It's nice out there. The way they got the little trees here or there, you can have like a little Hall of Justice thing sitting out there. Are you gonna put Hannah? Like literally, like you know what I'm saying, like the Hall of Fame level guys out there. The guys who are already in, Ty Law's in, Richard Seymour's in. Are you gonna put these guys like is every night? They don't have to be 12 feet tall. Maybe, no, you don't be disrespectful to nobody. Oh, now that Brady's there, are you gonna be like the Cowboys and everybody else? Like, nah, these are Patriot greats. Why do we have to limit our greats with Steelers, Cowboys, Niners? They'll roll off 15, 20 guys. Like if you played for the Steelers in the 70s, you considered a great. Like, no, you weren't. Terry Bradshaw wasn't even great.
But I think that's the point. You're saying, no, you weren't. I don't want them to cheapen how special it is.
No, I'm talking Hall of Famers. Yeah, Gronk's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, cool. Go into the Hall.
Are you going to put Hall of Fame, like Hall of Fame Patriots? Are you going to add them out there? Should there be more people, or should Brady forever be the only guy with a statue out there?
If you do, and I to be honest, I really can't give you a clear answer, but if you do, it can't be on the level of Brady's. It's got to be, I don't know. It got to be 11 feet. It can't be 12 feet. It can't be in the same place.
It's going to be like the 76ers little 4-foot statues.
Yeah, you might have to put it, I don't know, on one of the ramps going up to get to your seats. I don't know.
Plaques? You going to give them plaques on the ground with the lights around them?
Something. But let's go to Dan in Nashua. Dan, what's up?
So if there's anyone who's opposed to this statue and the release date, I would challenge them to tell me any Hall of Fame statue of a player that's been put up, what day it was released on what game.
I hear you, Dan, but I don't care. He's the GOAT. He's the standard.
I think the preseason game thing is
go out the window. I don't care what happened before. You switch it up for that guy right there. Tom Brady. What's that middle name? Is it Edward? What's his middle name, Cerrone?
Nazareth.
Yeah, I knew he was going to say. This dude said Nazareth. I knew it. As soon as I said something. Let's go to John in the car. He says he has some info. What's up, John?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
What's up?
Hey, I know it's a preseason game, but if you look at somebody like Tom Brady, it makes sense when you do the math. 8-8, 16. He's a Joe Montana fan. That was his idol. So for somebody like Brady, that makes sense. So that's probably why they chose that date.
Thanks, John. And I don't care about Joe Montana.
No, we shouldn't be caring. We shouldn't. We shouldn't let Joe Montana dictate anything that happens here.
He's
but here's
Tom
the thing.
Freaking Brady.
When what was this? A couple years ago, they opened the season against the Eagles, right?
Yep.
Didn't they have a Tom Brady event during that game?
Sure did. Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right.
There was a Tom Brady event held during the game, or halftime of a week 1 game. Great game, too, by the way. Why can you do it then?
Yeah. And you know what, Cerrone, the more I think about it, I have to believe there was a conversation with the Raiders, hey, listen, this is what's going on. I know I'm part owner and I'm a part of this whole organization now. But before we sign these papers, I sign on the dotted line. Here's what's going to happen. Are we in agreement that it's okay for me to attend or whatever? This should not be going down during a preseason game, the first preseason game. It just doesn't make sense. Let's go to Tom in Plymouth. Tom, what's going on?
Hello.
Tony,
I mean,
I'm sorry.
I think – no, you're good. That was what confused me. My big thing is I think that Adam Vinatieri, if we're going to pick another Patriot that has a moment or a number of moments that define the greatness of 20 years, I think that Adam Vinatieri, there's pick a kick.
Yep.
And you can make a statue out of that moment, and maybe you get a holder who catches some splash on that.
Yep.
But I think Adam Vinatieri, there's a kick in the snow, there's kicks in Super Bowls that are defining moments of the Patriots that are really his alone.
I like that, Tony. In my head, I instantly thought of the first Super Bowl win. When I forget, I don't know who picked them up. Someone picked them
there's
up.
one where he's being you see the holder coming over, and then you see somebody like wrapping him up, and he's got both arms up.
That's the
put all three of them in there. That's the image.
That's the image right there.
Isn't there? I'm pretty sure there is. I should know this. Isn't there a mark in the parking lot of where that kick actually happened? Oh, that's just the kick in the snow.
Sounds
the one in the snow. There's a mark in the parking lot. We actually kicked it. Like there's moments that happen in the old Foxborough Stadium where it's like, yo, this happened over here, similar to the statue that's at Northeastern. It's a picture in the middle of Northeastern's campus, and they're like, this is where the Red Sox used to play.
Oh yeah,
this is where the old mound used to be,
Yep.
and there's a statue right there on that, like something similar out in, I would say out in the parking lot, but you build it up to where it's like this is where Vinatieri kicked the snow kick, and you have an image from that kick or whatever in that location. I mean, I think you can play with a lot of different things there. But I thought of something. What if the person who made the call on this was Mike Vrabel on the date? He don't want distractions.
That's right.
He don't want nothing taken away from his team. I want the focus to be on my team week one, not on nobody else. This is about them, not about the past.
It's about the now and it's about the present.
What if Mike Vrabel? Yep. What if he's the one that said, all right, we're going to do this. It's going to be the first. If you're going to do it during a game, I think it could have been on a Friday night in August, to be honest with you. I mean, not a game night. You know what I'm saying?
Right, like they did his Hall of Fame joint.
Yeah, do the random night. But I think Mike Vrabel might have had some input on, you know what? I don't want no distractions. I don't want anything taken away from my players. I don't want them sitting there feeling some type of way, either way, about the situation that's going on. And I want them focused on that. So we're going to do it. First preseason game, before the game, let's get it out the way. That's in the past. Let's go forward. I think Mike Vrabel might have had some say in this.
All right, we're going to keep this conversation going on the other side. We're going to take a quick break. Phone lines are going. How do you feel about this? What's your thoughts on the whole Tom Brady statue?
It's too small.
Also, Cerrone asked a great question. If Tom Brady's the first, what other Patriot in Patriot history could be next or deserves a statue of their own? Hit us up, 617-779-0985. It's a Tupac Music Saturday because his birthday is Monday, and we couldn't find any Father's Day music to put a smile on your face.
You're listening to Leroy and Cerrone. and Cerrone on the Sports Hub.
It's 9:05, the Sports Hub. He's Cerrone Battle. I'm Leroy Irvin. George on the ones and twos behind the glass. It's a Tupac Saturday. Getting it in. I wanted to do Father's Day, but when I was listening to the Father's Day music, I almost fell asleep. Then I got depressed. And I was like, I can't do it to the people. I really, really can't. What's not depressing is that the GOAT is going to be getting a statue. Let us know how you feel about that. Your thoughts, your opinions, what it should look like. How do you feel about it happening during a preseason game? And then Cerrone asked a phenomenal question. If Tom Brady's the first, well, who else? Who else in the great history of the New England Patriots should get their own statue too? You heard what I did there, Cerrone. Let's go to Paulie in a truck. Paulie, what's up, man?
Hey, what's happening, guys? First of all, Tom Brady's middle name is Thomas Edward Patrick Brady.
There it is,
Patrick was his confirmation name, I do believe. Nobody has two middle names unless it's like, Billy Joe or something like that. He was a hillbilly,
How do you feel about the statue?
Yeah, now the statue, I had a couple of reasons. Cerrone stole my thunder on one of them. I think he just wants to be all about the team and not have any, people thinking about other things, any distractions, as Cerrone said. He stole my thunder on that one. But and the other one is, if you have that game when everybody's back to work and back from vacation and there are summer getaways and say in September, it will be a friggin' mob scene down there. All right, you were talking about a shite show in terms of traffic. I mean,
Hey, but that's what you want. If I'm Robert Kraft, that's what I want. I want it to be a party. I want it to be just underneath the line of mayhem. Controlled mayhem. That's what I would want. Let's go to Vinny in Fall River. Vinny, what's up?
Hey, so I got you one, right?
Okay.
So I got location should be where that lighthouse is at.
Yep.
Get rid of that lighthouse. No one cares about the lighthouse, right? 60-foot statue overlooking the field in a Superman stance, right?
Okay.
Overlooking what he created. Now, the other statues should be, I think, Bruschi and Vinatieri, right? Smaller ones. But then also, don't jump down my throat, Belichick. But 4-foot statue at the men's room.
Oh, shut up.
Oh, come on. You had to do him like that. You had to put him in the hallway in the bathroom.
You know what? It is. Yeah, Belichick, you got to put him on there, man.
Got to put him up there.
If you're going to create a list of not just players, but people in general who are attached to the Patriots organization that deserve a statue after Tom Brady, Belichick's on there. I don't know where you put him. Adam Vinatieri.
Not too far from Brady.
The caller that said Adam Vinatieri. I mean, excellent. I don't think anyone could go wrong at that. I meant to ask the last caller, why Teddy Bruschi? I'm not saying that he shouldn't. I just want to hear why, in his opinion, Teddy Bruschi should get one.
Well, here's the thing. I looked up how many NFL players actually have statues. And it might be really hard for these other guys, the secondary guys, to get statues if it's a league-approved thing or whatever. But these are the only guys that had – these are players now. Peyton Manning, Barry Sanders.
Who had a
Pat
heart
Tillman.
attack. I'm praying for him. Get well, Barry Sanders.
Barry, Pat Tillman, Jim Brown, Dan Marino. That's it for players.
I think Sean Taylor has one.
He might. He doesn't show up on the list. Then you got guys like Vince Lombardi has one. Vince Lombardi's statue is 14 feet tall, too, by the way. And it's sitting on like a 6-foot pedestal. So it's 20 feet tall. We could do better. We could do better. Crafts, if you're listening, we could do better than 12 feet. I'm just saying, you can put it on a 20-foot pedestal,
right,
and then put a 12-foot statue on top of that.
Like, we get why it's 12 feet, but no one's going to bring any measuring tape to
measure.
say,
right, you put the pedestal, put the pedestal at 10 feet, and then put them up. You're going to need a 10-foot pedestal list all his accomplishments under the bottom.
No. You make the pedestal 6 feet for the 6 rings, and
there you
then
go.
the 12 feet.
Guy.
There you go.
There you go, right there. But you got to put Art Rooney has a statue. Lamar Hunt has a statue. Vince Lombardi has the biggest statue.
Right.
Carolina Panthers owner Jerry Richardson, he has a statue, and his actually doubles his real life height. They made it double his height on purpose. That's what he wanted, whatever. And he's got his statue between the 2 Panthers, which is kind of cool. But yeah, but if those are the only guys really with statues. Ray Lewis also has one as well. But you got Ray Lewis, Dan Marino, Johnny Unitas, Barry Sanders, Jim Brown, Peyton Manning. They have statues.
Big names in the game. Big names.
So to get secondary guys in there, you got coach and quarterback type thing. Johnny Unitas and Peyton Manning both got statues. But Johnny Unitas is in Baltimore because he played for the Baltimore Colts.
That's why when the caller said Teddy Bruschi, I love who doesn't.
It's hard.
It's just I don't.
Belichick, yes.
Yes.
And the other yes, possibly. I know callers are going to throw their phone and crash if they're driving. Robert Kraft. Because all these other legendary owners have statues. Robert Kraft, this is his thing.
Yeah.
He put this thing together. He got the time. Hey, if it's another owner than Robert Kraft, does everything fall the same? Probably not.
Yeah, he keeps the team.
Probably not. The idea of going with yep, there's a lot of things that could have gone different if Joe Schmo would have took over this team, but Robert Kraft might be. If Jerry Richardson can get a statue, owner of the Kansas City Chiefs get a statue, and some of these other guys, Robert Kraft, man, got 6 Super Bowls. Come on now.
All right, 617-779-0985 is the number. Tim in Nashua. What's up, Tim?
Guys, I don't care where they put the statue, but my opinion, he should have one of the trophies, the Super Bowl trophies in his hand. Do you agree or disagree?
If that's the case, then is that from the first one? Well, I mean, obviously, he's had the statue in his hand for probably.
Oh, he's got the one. Oh, no.
But I'm trying to think of the one. It's when he has on, I believe he has on a shirt. He's taking off his shoulder pads and all that stuff.
And he's holding it up over his head?
Yes, the shortcut, yes.
That was Atlanta, I think.
Was it?
Yeah, I think that's when he beat Atlanta.
That's the one that comes
it might have been
mind.
the Seahawks. There's so many.
Yeah, Mark in Dorchester.
Hey, afternoon, guys.
Good afternoon.
So definitely, right, aside from Brady, aside from Vinatieri, I'm also on board with Bruschi big time, and I'm also on board with Belichick big time. And Bruschi, because I think Bruschi, like, from a player standpoint, before Brady embodied the Patriot way, 110%, and then Brady took that to the next level, carried that legacy on. And then Bill, I'm a Bill guy anyway, so I think Bill, even through all the stuff he's doing today, still gets to the respect he deserves. So I think he gets the second biggest, behind Brady. I think he gets a solid statue as well.
Appreciate it, Mark. You know what's surprising to me? Maybe it's happened on X, but I was expecting people to say Julian Edelman. Even though there's that argument of whether or not he should even be in the Hall of Fame because his regular season numbers don't match up with his postseason numbers and all that. I thought someone was going to mention his name. And I thought, to be honest, more people would have mentioned Gronk. I know you did, and I don't know if I necessarily agree with it. I just thought more people would mention him.
He's the only other one on that talent level. And a comp like Gronk can legit make a case that he's the greatest tight end of all time. That's like, even with some of the injuries and stuff he went through, Gronk probably is the greatest tight end, complete tight end in the history of the sport. And that's playing with the quarterback who shared the wealth. This isn't Pat Mahomes and Kelsey, where he's throwing it to him every single time it's third down, over and over again. He's got a ton of targets. Gronk was out there getting numbers when Hernandez was getting numbers, when Edelman was getting numbers. You know, see what I'm saying? Like they were distributing the wealth, and Gronk was still dominating the game. And his blocking and all those other things, once you add all that into it, and then goes to Tampa and does the same thing. So Gronk is the only other player, talent-wise, that's first ballot, no doubt, Hall of Fame, top 3 of his position all time. But I think you got to, if you're going to put somebody else, it might be a non-player. Belichick might be the only other person that you can put up there.
All right, well, we can continue that conversation on the other side if you want to. Plus, the NBA playoffs, the finals, not even the playoffs, the finals. We had Game 4 last night. Is anybody watching? We got to talk about that. Plus, you know what? I have a very random question that has nothing to do with sports. Cerrone, I went somewhere yesterday. I went to Wallist Beach.
Okay.
And I need to ask this question once and for all. Can we settle this, y'all?
Break out.
Tony's Clam Shop or the Clam Box? We got to settle this today.
Folks about to lose their mind.
617-779-0985. Tony's or the Clam Box on Wallist Beach? Which one? We'll be right back. It's 985 The Sports Hub.
Belichick, but 4-foot statue at the men's room.
Stay tuned for more from Leroy and Cerrone on the
Leroy Irvin and Cerrone battle on Boston's home for sports. 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Leans in, launches a 35-foot three. It's off, and that's it. The Thunder have come to Indianapolis and gotten the split they needed after losing Game 1. Following in Game 3, they do it again. 6-0 their record in the playoffs. When coming off of a loss, they remain unscathed and unbeaten there, and they rally from 10 down on the road in a game in which they made 8 fewer three-pointers than the Pacers to win by a 111-104 count.
Welcome back, 98.5 The Sports Hub. I'm Leroy Irvin. He is Cerrone. Battle. Ain't nothing but a... Before we went to break, I did ask a question. I have to explain. Obviously, when we just came back, you heard the final call for yesterday's Game 4 NBA Finals between the Pacers and the Thunder. So we're going to get into that. But before we do... I asked the question. Let me just explain what happened yesterday. Yesterday, I was with my son, Jordan, and we went down. We just went for a walk just to get out of the house, just to chill, just to spend time together. Because contrary to society's belief, there are a lot of good fathers out there, and I'm one of them. I believe I am. I do my best. Anyways, we was out there, and we was doing our thing, and he wanted something to eat. And, of course, on Wallist Beach, you have Tony's and you have the clam box, and that conversation turned into which one is better. We're not the first to have that conversation, but I said, hey, I'm going to put this out tomorrow on air to settle it once and for all. So, obviously, you can call up and talk about sports, but you can also call in 617-779-0985 to let us know which one is better. Which one do you prefer? Tony's or the clam box? Real quick, Cerrone, which one do you prefer?
I tell you this. I saw you and Jordan were there yesterday. Mm-hmm. And the first thing, my wife, she can come down here and validate this. The first thing I said was, man, I need a Tony's fish and chip.
So you're a Tony's person.
With that lime Ricky?
Oh, yes, Lord. Yes, Lord.
That gallon of high fructose heart attack.
Oh, yes, Lord.
On a hot day with that fish, man, that's hard to beat.
Yeah.
That's hard to beat.
I think I'm going to go there right after the show. 5 o'clock.
See, man,
Wallist,
that's hard.
Here I come.
That's hard, man. That's tough.
Again, 617-779-0985. Obviously, call us with your sports takes. But if you could answer, which one's better on Wallist Beach? Tony's or the clam box? Now, last night, Game 4, I thought the Pacers had it in the bag, Cerrone. I really, really did. Especially when Obi, he started going off, hitting threes, ran the baseline, got the dunk. I said, oh, this one, you could feel the energy. It felt like it was picking up in favor of the Pacers. Mm-hmm. And then, lo and behold, SGA, he turns it on in the fourth quarter. The team in general turns it on, and they win the game. Cerrone, are you in agreement that this, basketball-wise, has been one of the best finals?
Yeah. It absolutely has been.
It has been. If you are a basketball fan, a purist, the finals have been phenomenal. However, the ratings aren't showing that. Mm-hmm. According to, after Game 3, apparently, so far, 9.19 million people have watched. Through 3 games, the 2025 final series has averaged just 8.95 million viewers, down 23% from the Celtics and Dallas last year. And I guess it's the worst since 1988. Cerrone, I do not.
And 88 was what? The Bad Boys and Showtime?
It probably. And I don't want to steal your thunder, but Cerrone, you had a take, and I'll just let you tell it.
No, I guess you can call it a take, but high ratings don't mean good quality. Mm. If everybody's watching, doesn't mean it was a great event.
Right.
If everybody's there, it doesn't mean it was good. And I think we get caught up in that. Oh, the ratings are down around the league. The NBA ratings, see, it sucks. It's like, no, you just was on Instagram. That's the difference. You wasn't watching. You're a casual fan who only likes superstars. You don't even like the sport. You like the individual player. And since none of you are real, that is SGA fans out there, and there's no Halliburton fans out there, evidently, you didn't watch. And smaller markets, you got Oklahoma and Indiana. Mm-hmm. It's not exactly New York City and, in LA.
In LA, yeah.
So you got that element. But just because something has really high ratings doesn't mean it was a good product, a good quality. The NFL, people always say the NFL is king. Oh, it's king. Look at the ratings. Like, that doesn't mean it's good football. Browns and Falcons suck. It didn't matter that 20 million people watched it. They watched them play. They're still terrible football. The Patriots had great ratings last year. It didn't mean they were good football. It wasn't a good product, but you watch because it's your routine. If football was on a Tuesday night, a Wednesday night, or a Thursday night, or like last night, a Friday night, and with a Central Time Zone start, you wouldn't be watching Detroit and the Seahawks. It's because it's Sunday. Everybody's home at 1:00 on a Sunday afternoon, laying on the couch. And even if you're watching the games or not, the TV's just on. So it comes off like NASCAR. It's one race. Everybody's in the race. Everybody who's a NASCAR fan watches that one race. That doesn't mean because everybody watched it was a great race. But there's been good basketball. To show how good basketball was, Oklahoma scored 111 points last night, right?
Mm-hmm.
They hit 3 threes.
3 threes. Ain't that crazy?
I was told you can't play good basketball unless you're throwing a bunch of threes. It's the new game. These old teams couldn't play against new teams because they don't shoot the three. OKC went off, scored 111 points, and hit 3 threes. They lived in the paint. They got to the foul line. Shea lived in the mid-range, and it was a wrap for the Pacers. And I love the Pacers. The Pacers, I think, only took maybe 30 threes or something like that. I think they only hit like 11 or whatever it is. I don't have it in front of me. But these are two teams with two totally different styles getting buckets. They had a first quarter. I think it was 38-37 or something like that in the first quarter. And one of the highest scoring first quarters in the playoffs, in the finals.
And if you've been crying for physicality, I mean, my God, they're letting them play. They're letting them get physical, yeah.
A guy got to hit the floor to get to the foul line. Now, because Oklahoma City's relentless at going to the basket and living in the mid-range, they got 30-plus free throws last night. But they are out there balling. Guys, like you said, running baseline without the ball, skipping it around, getting the ball back into your point guard's hands. Shea, he want to do his one-on-one ISO, doing it in the mid-range, old school, looks like 80s, 90s with this guy. And he wonder why he shoots a high percentage and why it's so hard to stop. This is good basketball. I understand the masses, the casual fans, they want to see LeBron and Steph, and they want the names. It's like Warriors Cavs. Oh, man, that's one of the great rivals of the last era. Oh, look at the ratings. Look at the numbers. Yo, the LeBron was getting swept. Mm-hmm. They were getting smoked. The first series against the Warriors, I think the Cavs, LeBron lost in 5. Then he had the one with the Kyrie series. That was an amazing series. But the only reason it got that far is because, guys, Bogut got hurt, so he was down a star. Draymond Green got suspended. You were down another face. And it got extended. And then LeBron, you had that great series. But then once KD got the Oak to Golden State, them LeBron series, it was sweet. Bye. I think they won 1 game out of those in the series against KD. It was like, yo, you went 8-1. Like, that's not good basketball. That was boring. Celtics and Madison is down 25% from last year. Celtics Mavs, was that good basketball? Was it? Or was it Tatum? Was it Luka? Was it Jaylen Brown? Was it Kyrie Irving? Was it Dallas, Texas, and Boston, Massachusetts? That's why the ratings were high. Luka was getting yelled at by Brian Windhorst on ESPN because of how terrible he was.
Yeah.
Jason Tatum didn't get Finals MVP. They said, he wasn't good. He wasn't that good. But the ratings were up 25% higher than it was now. Would that mean it was a good product? No, it was not. It was just casual fans tuned in because it was recognizable names. That's all it was.
617-779-0985. We got to take a break. On the other side, we can continue this conversation. Plus, we've talked about a lot. I'm talking about the Red Sox. We've talked about Tony's versus the Clam Box. We've talked a whole bunch of stuff, and people are calling in wanting to talk about all of those things. So real quick, let me shout out LaCar, Amari, Paul, Bob, Joey, and everyone else calling in, thank you for calling, and I promise we're going to get to you next. It's Leroy Irvin. He's Cerrone Battle. It's 985 The Sports Hub.
More Leroy Irvin and Cerrone. local guys, lots of local sports talk. Leroy Irvin and Cerrone battle on Boston's home for sports. 98.5 The Sports.
About Brady statue. We talked about what other New England Patriot in the history of the Patriots deserves a statue. We talked about the Red Sox. We've talked about the clam box first toadies of Walliston. We've talked about the NBA playoffs so much. So let's get right to the phones. We don't have a lot of time. Let's go to LaCar in Boston. What's up, LaCar?
Hey, what's happening?
What's up?
I want to kind of pick up what y'all was talking about last week as y'all was closing. Just thinking about Isaiah Thomas and the Detroit Pistons.
Yes.
If they did not play Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls the way they play, do you really think Chicago would have won those 6 championships? I think it was all because of the way the Detroit Pistons played them.
Oh, yeah. I watched something recently. Thanks, LaCar. And you can pretty much put the official stamp on that who was it? I forget what it was. They were talking about Scottie Pippen and his defense, but then they said that Chicago Bulls team, obviously during that era, their defense was so intense, partially because of what they had to go through with Detroit. They learned from them. The torch was passed to them, and they carried that on. Cerrone, do you mind if we keep it going?
Go ahead.
I believe it's Amari, which reminds me of I had a friend named Shamari. Oh man, Amari.
Yeah, how's it going, guys?
All right.
Thank you so much for taking my call. First time caller in general to any radio station, so I listen to you guys often.
Oh, appreciate
it. But in regards to the statues, I kind of understand why Edelman may not be in there. Gronk, had a lot to do with Brady. But what about Kevin Falk? I mean, this guy, 13 years with the Patriots, Mr. Third Down, bailed out the Patriots so many times, Mr. Reliable, You don't think he should get a little recognition?
Appreciate it, Amari. I love him. We all do. I don't think he's statue worthy. I think that's pretty simple. No.
I think one thing I will say, I don't think he's statue worthy. But to the caller's point, his name doesn't get mentioned nowhere near as much as it should.
Yeah. Time.
We forget how key and clutch he was for this team and how important he was for this team and their early success. His name doesn't get mentioned nowhere near as much as it should. And it's almost like there's a bias toward it was Tom Brady and a great defense. It's like, no, there was all the key plays made during that era was on the offensive side of the ball. Okay, you played the Rams. You did your thing against the Rams. Yep. But eventually the defense caved in and the score was tied. Yep. You did your thing against Philly a little bit early on, but eventually T.O. was screws in his foot, was cooking you. And the Eagles was moving the ball. It took Tom Brady and Deion Branch and Givens to do their things offensively. Carolina, Jake Delhomme had the greatest game of his life against that defense. But it was Tom Brady had to match that in the Patriots offense. That Kevin Falk and Deion Branch, David Givens, that offense deserves way more credit. Snow game. I'll say this all the time. Some of the most clutch plays made in that whole game was by Wiggy. Wiggy catching passes on his knees in a blizzard. Doesn't get talked about enough. So I think there's a lot of guys, Kevin Falk especially, he doesn't get mentioned enough. Does he deserve a statue? No.
But you know why? Because the Pats had a second run, and that second run
kind of erased.
Not erased, but people just forget. They move on, and they remember the most recent thing. Yeah. Let's go to Bob Bob's on the road. Bob has some more names. What's up, Bob?
Hey, how you doing, guys? First time caller. I just want to say this. First, Troy Brown definitely should be out there with Tom Brady. The second person, Willie McGinnis, made that defense work in the Tom Brady era. And then my last person I have to say is Chris Slade. He's one of the originators with McGinnis.
Appreciate it, Bob. But y'all got to remember, statues are.
These guys might be plaque worthy.
Yes, plaque worthy. I don't know about statue worthy.
Because you heard me ran off the list of the NFL players that have statues.
Yeah, these are names that most fans know, even if they didn't play for your team.
It's my wife knows these people. She don't follow the game like that.
Right.
The Barry Sanders, it's Ray Lewis, it's Johnny Unitas, Dan Marino, Peyton Manning. Barry Sanders, Jim Brown.
Yeah.
That's really your list.
There it is.
Or you can elect to kick a 50-yard field goal for 4 points. I love that. Oh,
we also asked which is better on Wallist Beach, Tony's or the Clam Box. Paul and Quincy, who you got? Which one?
Oh, buddies, how you doing?
Good.
Hey, you got to go with the Clam Box, and I'll tell you why.
Why?
Say you order a fish sandwich, right?
Uh-huh.
You go to the Clam Box, you get a fish sandwich for $12.95. You get either your choice of French fries or onion rings.
Mm-hmm.
For another $1, you can get some coleslaw. You go to Tony's, same fish sandwich, $15.95 and a bag of chips.
Oh, man. Paul coming with the numbers.
Come with the economics.
Yes, the economics. Joey in Kingston wants to talk about Tony's or the Clam Box. He grew up in Quincy. What's up, Joey?
Hey, happy pre-Father's Day, Jack.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
You know what? In California Love by Tupac's one of the best songs of the 90s. That's a shame.
There you go.
But I grew up in Quincy. My mom still lives there, so I go up and we go to Tony's, and I can tell you why Tony's now. They have an all-new patio out back, so they got couches, they got the fire pit. You get all this great ambience with great fried, clams and everything. But as far as statues, the craft screwed up. They should have put the 200-foot statue up of Tom Brady where the lighthouse is so you could go up in it like the Statue of Liberty. But if they're going to put a 12-foot statue of him out, they should put it in the main courtyard.
Yep.
And then when Gronk retires, they should have one of him 40 yards away, like he's going to go catch the ball. And they should have one of Kraft at the main entrance waving everybody like they do, like Walt Disney does at the Magic Kingdom. So
you know what, Joey? I'm not mad at that. Joey got some great ideas.
That's not bad.
Some really good ideas. Hey, George, do you mind if we go a little bit longer?
Yeah, keep it going.
All right, let's go to let's see. Let's go to JR in the car. What's up, JR?
Hi, guys. Just wanted to chime in quickly on your discussion on the statues, worthy Patriots.
Yes.
I don't know if this was discussed when I was off the air earlier, but you have to consider John Hanna. Arguably the best guard to ever play in the NFL, and one of very few Patriots that are actually in the Hall of Fame.
Appreciate it.
I went with Hannah. I agree with them.
That's tough. Listen, we got to take a quick break. Let's keep it going. Y'all keep calling. Sam, Peter, Joe, I see you. And the number is 617-779-0985. We got your Sports Hub headlines. And then when we get back, your calls, the entertainment report, and so much more. I'm Leroy Irvin. He's Cerrone Battle. It is a Tupac Saturday because Father's Day music pretty much just doesn't exist.
It's not just the games. It's Toucher and Hardy, Zolak and Bertrand, Felger and Maz, Joe Murray. For Boston sports fans, it's 98.5, the Sports Hub. Paisley Media Group Station. Sports Hub headlines. Presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
All right, we got great pitching by both teams, the Red Sox and the Yankees. There was some ejections, a ninth inning home run by Aaron Judge to tie the game, but in extra innings, Carlos Baez hit a walk-off RBI single off the Green Monster, and the Sox got the win 2-1. Game 2 of this 3-game series goes down tonight at 7:15. In the NBA Finals, the Thunder stormed back in the fourth quarter and got the dub behind SGA's 35 points. Final score, 111-104. Game 5 is Monday. 7:30 tonight, the Revs and FC Cincinnati, and tonight is Game 5 of the Stanley Cup Finals between the Panthers and Oilers. The series is tied at 2 games apiece. The puck drops at 8. The Sports Hub headlines are presented by all my favorites, Celsius Energy Drinks. I might have to get one right now. Refresh your energy with zero sugar, essential vitamins, and proven ingredients. George, if you don't mind, I need that. What's it? Strawberry kiwi Celsius? I need one right now. I'm Leroy Irvin, and we'll be right back.
When breaking breaking sports news happens in Boston.
News this morning, Marco Stern.
It happens here.
Former Bruin, now current Bruins head coach. The hiring made official today.
Boston's home for breaking sports news and your flagship station for the Boston Bruins all year long. 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Now, Leroy Irvin and Cerrone battle. Leroy and Cerrone on Boston's home for sports. 98.5 The Sports Hub.
The entertainment report. I hate keeping people on hold. I really, really do. So, Cerrone, if you don't mind,
go
I'm going to
ahead,
go back
man.
to the calls.
Do your
Joe
thing.
in West Virginia wants to talk about the NBA playoffs.
Brother Leroy Irvin, I just wanted to, I don't want to steal a line from you, but you gave flowers to Brother Cerrone battle last week and the way he covered the 2025 NBA playoffs between the Thunder and the Pacers. I'm just going to go back a little bit further. Michael Jordan, he mentioned as far as being a prolific scorer. I remember Michael Jordan scoring 63 points in the old Boston Garden in a playoff game, a record that still stands today. That next day, I'm working at Framingham Country Club, the assistant pro. He comes out with Danny Ainge to play golf. They probably hadn't even been to sleep. The adrenaline was still pumped. I said, I got to let Michael Jordan borrow my golf clubs. It'll be the highlight of my PGA career. And they, so anyways, they went out and played. And then after they came back in, Michael actually thanked me. I said, geez, what a class guy he really is. I said to Danny, Danny, you trying to drive the golf car off the cliff to stop Michael? Michael got a chuckle out of it. Danny Ainge, if it looks good, kill, I'd have been dead. Honor all the fathers tomorrow. Take care, guys.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Joe.
Great story. It's pretty cool.
I mean, phenomenal story. Wow. Let's go to Sam. He's in a car. What's up, Sam? Or is it a she?
Hey, guys. How you doing today?
What's up?
So I just want to quickly say that I don't think there's a song that has an intro better than California Love from Tupac. Mm-hmm. You could actually use it as a theme song,
right?
Which goes into my next segue, because I remember last week you guys were talking about AI and influential, athletes and people like that. I don't know if you guys mentioned it, but I would like to throw in some wrestlers like Hulk Hogan from the 80s.
Oh, yeah.
And then two from the 90s that I think every time you heard their theme song hit, it was just an absolute something crazy was going to happen. One was The Rock.
Yep.
And the other was Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. If you missed it.
How did we miss that last week?
That was from last week when we were talking about, like he said,
influence. Yeah.
Influence. AI turned 50 last Saturday. We were talking about, athletes who just have major influence. Man, I know people who got in trouble at school because of The Rock and Stone Cold and Hogan and the NWO. We were out there really, really living that life. When I hear that glass break today, I know it's on. It's a problem. Oh, yes. Yeah. Listen to that. Listen to that.
Start looking around.
Who wants some? Who wants some? One more caller before we do the entertainment report. Let's go to Peter. He's on the road. He wants to talk about that statue down at Gillette when it drops on August 8th. What's up, Peter?
How are you guys?
Good.
I got two possible names. I don't know if they've been mentioned yet or not, but you got to go with the all-time point leader in the AFL, the Duke, Gino Cappelletti.
Okay.
And my other name, Darryl Stingley.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Those are good. Again,
yeah.
They're statue worthy. Statue. Like,
if you
go ahead,
if you wanted to say, you know what, we're gonna do it different than everybody else. We're not gonna follow everybody else's traditions and trends. We're gonna turn this Patriot Hall of Fame, this whole area, into a shrine for Patriots. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now you got, if you got the images of Brady, like he's audibling, we standing over the line and he's pointing. If that's your initial statue, to his left at that guard spot, you got Hannah down. You got Gronk at the tight end spot. You know what I'm saying? Right. Now you got Matt Light, the left tackle. You start filling out the 11 that's on the field.
That's a great idea. Oh, Cerrone, so they might.
You got Julian Edelman to your right. You got Randy Moss to his left.
George, pull this audio in case it happens. That's a great idea.
Now you've made a shrine of the top 22. Now you can include special teams.
Yep.
You have Vinatieri as kicking, his famous image. You know what I'm saying? If Matthew Slater booking down the sideline, like breaking through somebody.
Right.
Now you got all these Hall of Fame level guys out there. And with Brady looking over the line, audibly, you simply put the defense in front of him.
Yep.
It's Willie McGinnis. Now it's Teddy Bruschi. It's Ty Law on that side. I don't care if it was Revis, whoever you want to put on the other side. Maybe Gonzalez down the line might be that guy. Who knows? But you start filling it out, and you have your shrine of Patriot greats. And to Brady's left, 40 yards away, is Belichick with his hands on his hips with the headset.
Yep.
Now you got everybody's included. But Brady, as the centerpiece, is overlooking that line, and you can just fill it out with all the Hall of Famers, Patriot Hall of Famers, Vrabel, all these other guys. You're filling out that Patriot shrine of Patriot greats in bronze statues. I think that'd be really cool.
Yeah, and to a much lesser degree, in comparison to your idea, if you go to the Patriots Hall of Fame, there's that the spot with the huddle.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, oh, I see what you're talking about. I see where you're going with
everybody's kind of included.
Yeah. They'll never do it, but that would
they could. They should. They could be listening. They could be listening. Somebody important's like, you know what? That guy might be on to something.
Yeah, that'd be
all I need is exchange a couple tickets.
Yeah, George, I need you to pull this audio just so we have it on record.
Some tickets. That's all. That's all I'm asking for, some tickets. That's it.
All right, let's do the entertainment report. All right, so check it out. So despite there being an arrest warrant for him, I'm talking about former NFL wide receiver Antonio Brown.
Former Patriot.
Yeah, former Patriot. He wouldn't be in that statue joint, not at all. He posted a video on Instagram of him riding a bike and just smiling. He's being accused of stealing a police officer's gun and trying to shoot a man back on May 16th outside of a boxing event. And now the person he allegedly shot at is speaking while being interviewed by TMZ. Here's what he said.
He stole a pendant in Dubai, and I have a judgment against him for I was doing jewelry at the time. I'm a jeweler. I'm a financial freedom fighter. So at that time, I was working in the jewelry industry. I came up with this small-tie pendant. It's a beautiful pendant, 80 grams of gold that you see him wearing, 24 carats of VVS diamonds. We saw each other, and then he assaulted me. I think I may have said something of, let's handle this amicably, because I walked in, I was in support of a boxer at the event. He saw me, but there was already prior beef because he owes me money in the court of the law. So probably when he saw me, I reminded him of his financial failure. He's in debt to many debtors. He's going through some type of severe bankruptcy. So if he saw me live in the flesh, I reminded him of that failure, and then that's when the attack happened. And of course, I defended myself against 3 or 4 or 5 people. I was being jumped. So I had to fight. It was a quick 15-second brawl. I'm from New Orleans. We do that all the time. A little tussle. You know what I'm saying? And get up out of there.
Moving on. AB, come on, bro, right? Moving on, Kanye West showed up to the Diddy trial. Looks like there was some space set aside for him in the overflow room, but that room became crowded, so the court opened up a second room. He sat in that, and then Cerrone, you know how long he stayed for?
I don't. Go ahead, man.
10 minutes. 10 minutes.
He didn't go there for Diddy. He went there for himself.
Yes, he did. And finally, one of the biggest entertainment stories recently was the back and forth between Kendrick Lamar and Drake. Drake, if you don't know, he's from Toronto, and Kendrick's tour made its stop in Toronto this past Thursday. Kendrick did his hit song, Not Like Us, which is partially aimed at Drake. And the crowd in Toronto did the unthinkable and begged for more. Cerrone, I am not a Drake fan like that. I do think the brother's talented, but I feel for him. Your own hometown ain't holding you down like they're supposed to. Oh my God. And that's your entertainment report. All right, appreciate it, man. Yeah, you got to keep that. You got to keep that.
We're using that forever.
Yeah,
forever.
Wait. Here you go. If the Patriots do end up putting together a collection of statues like Cerrone said, but they don't contact Cerrone, there you go.
No, but you're going to have me in court thinking I'm threatening the team.
Wait, George, I got another one. Tomorrow is Father's Day. If your father has done a phenomenal job in your life, but you do nothing for him tomorrow, get it together. Get it together. Having fun. 617-779-0985 is the number. I want to kind of get back on the whole AB thing. Nothing crazy. I don't want to talk about him because he's you know what?
Gone.
I'm not
He's
going.
gone.
I'm praying for him. That's how I'm going to put it. I'm praying for him. But for those listening, I need you to put on another thinking cap. I need you to put on a thinking cap as if you are a GM. If you were running a sports team, how much bad behavior would you be willing to tolerate? Again, you're a GM of a sports team. I know AB is retired, but we know that there are ABs all over sports. Mm-hmm. And AB is considered one of the best wide receivers to ever do it. That's right, but it comes with baggage. So again, hit us up, 617-779-0985. We're going to talk about this when we get back. If you were running a sports team, how much bad behavior would you be willing to tolerate? We'll talk about that next. I'm Leroy Irvin. He's Cerrone Battle. It's 9-5, the Sports Hub. PGB rolling. Clear enough for you?
You're listening to Leroy and Taking your calls, giving hot takes. Leroy Irvin and Cerrone battle on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Ball on the near hash to left hash. Brady takes the snap and retreats. He looks left. He fires the back shoulder to Brown. Touchdown Patriots inside the near left pylon.
Welcome to New England, kid. What a throw by the quarterback to the back shoulder.
All right, welcome back, 98.5 The Sports Hub. I'm Leroy Irvin, he's Cerrone battle. Oh, Antonio Brown. For some reason, even though his time with the Patriots was short, it's almost like I'll never forget he was a Patriot at one point. It's no secret that he has issues. I don't know him personally. Most of us don't, so I'm not going to sit here and, beat down on him. I wish him the best, but he does have some work to do. But he's so talented. It amazes us both that he was granted opportunity after opportunity. And the question is, once again, if you were a GM, not just in football, not just in the NFL, but in sports in general, if you were running a sports team, how much bad behavior would you be willing to tolerate? Cerrone, I know for myself, I'd probably be labeled as the worst GM in sports because I don't have the patience and I wouldn't tolerate it. And I know that would mean that I would miss out on a lot of talented individuals. Mm-hmm. I don't like divas. I'm all about.
You'd be fired after the first month.
Well, I know. I'm all about structure. So I know I wouldn't last. I wouldn't get another job either. I would get fired, and you would never hear from me again because I don't. Winning, I love to win. Don't get me wrong. But it's not that important that I would tolerate bad behavior from players. How about you?
It depends. It depends on what kind of behavior you're getting from these players. I think in the NBA or everything really except for the NFL, you can get away with it. I think the Celtics have done a great job of building a roster full of good people, great guys off the field. It's one thing. Tatum, Brown, you can't get – Tatum, they said he's on his second shipment of supplies of taking care of the people who were damaged in St. Louis with the tornadoes and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. He's still doing stuff, even though he's going through his own, rehab and all that. We all know what Jaylen Brown means to the communities. They've done a great job at that. With NFL teams, I think because you're dealing with so many players and you're dealing with a football culture that promotes.
Yes. Yeah, you're right.
And creates a diva mentality and
violence.
And a violent mentality from a very, very young age. There's a show that comes on, what's it called? Like Football Tights or something like that. Mm-hmm. It's about Pop Warner football teams in the South. And these kids are little kids, 8, 9 years old. And the parents out there buying them watches. So they coming out on the field iced out with the visor and all this stuff. And they're teaching them the late hitting and the fighting on the sidelines. So somehow, some way, things have gotten so crossed up that people look at, in order for me to be considered a great football player, I got to be a nasty diva with off-field issues. And this is at the Pop Warner youth league level. This ain't high school. This ain't even middle school level yet. These are elementary school kids. And this is I'm going to say nationwide. I'm not going to say nationwide. Yeah. This is a thing in California. Texas is major. It's a big deal, the culture of Texas. But most of the Southeast, all the way across the Carolinas, whatever, this is what's taught.
So, Cerrone, do you get the sense, though, that in the same breath, these kids are being taught that there's consequences, though?
No, that's the thing.
That's crazy.
I think they're being allowed to do this. They're being promoted to do this. And then when they finally hit consequences, senior year in high school or get to a college program that doesn't tolerate it, but because of the transfer portal, I'm out. Coach ain't on the same coach tripping. I couldn't go to Minnesota. It was cold up there. They wouldn't let me be me. You know what I'm saying? That same thing Ocho said when he came to the Patriots. Oh, I couldn't catch that pass because they let Ocho be Ocho. Like, dog, you just dropped the pass. What are you talking about? Like, you're so caught up in yourself that you thinking about self not being self while the ball is in the air. Like, so you can't play. but you see it with the transfer portal in sports now. You see it on the high school level where guys are playing for 5 and 6 high schools now because they're not, I can't be myself. And this is something that's being taught at a young level. So now you get to the NFL level, like you said, your NFL GM, NBA GM, whatever. Can you build a team without none of those guys? And I think it's a hard thing to do because we live in a culture now where it's kind of promoted. But when guys get violent, when guys start getting arrested, I think that's when an owner or a GM has to say, you know what? I'm not touching this kid.
Yeah, see, I don't think I would even apply for the job because let's say you put together a team that has a bunch of excellent guys on it and you're successful. Chances are once you become successful, it's going to bring some evil out of some of the players.
Right. Now you had a bunch of Saints, but now that you're winning and now the money's flowing in and now they the hottest dude in town, people change.
Hold on for 1 second. 617-779-0985. This just came across. Bruce from Santa Monica. He wants to add to this conversation. Bruce.
Good afternoon. How you guys doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. I just wanted to chime in a little bit about the House decision. I don't know if you're aware of it, the House settlement in college sports. As you know, NIL has been in place for about 3 or 4 years where third parties can pay players for endorsements and things like that. But on June 5th, California court completely overwhelmed way more than the NIL decision. Now, Division I teams can pay their players $20 million per team per year, and I just think it's wonderful for the competition of particularly men's basketball and particularly men's football, actually, because now smaller schools like Maryland or Tennessee or Rutgers, or these are schools that maybe not smaller, but they couldn't compete against the Alabamas and the Ohio State. They've all of a sudden got $20 million now to pay players. That's number one. And number two is I just think the old policy of not paying them had slightly racist overtones because the schools are dominated by rich white elites, the big universities, and as we know, most of the players come from underprivileged backgrounds. Often
appreciated, Bruce. Cerrone, first and foremost, do you agree with him that it's a good thing for the for college sports? And then secondly, the amount of money, do you think that contributes to the diva attitudes and things of that nature that we were just talking about?
Well, yeah, because some of these guys are getting paid on the high school level. We know this. And some guys think they got to be that guy in order to get the bag. I got to stand out. It's my way of standing out. You know, I gotta flash a little bit in order to stand out. You know, people got on Sanders for being flashable. Sanders was already a millionaire. He was flashy because he had it. But with this money thing, I agree to an extent what he was saying. Before, you got Alabama and Clemson and Michigan and all these teams in Ohio State. They're throwing 20, 30 million at the football team alone. BC over there like, man, the school ain't worth $35, $40 million. Like we'll take our whole budget just to pay the football team to compete. So they already were up against it. Now, if they're saying, I bet, Bama, you get 20 million. BC, you got 20 million. Have at it. Now it's level. Now you can't. You better. And here's the thing. I think I could be wrong here. I think the 20 million is to be used across all sports. You can't just give 20 million to the football. You can just give it to the football team, but that means your basketball team and your women's basketball team, volleyball, and no one else is getting paid. But I think the 20 million is to be spread out. You got 20 million to burn on your whole athletic program. Good luck. And I think that's a situation that they're in, but I think that's a good thing. So you don't have the teams at top staying at the top or the teams who are at the bottom, like Florida State, all of a sudden getting these huge boosts because they're sitting on all this money off to the side. Or Duke basketball or UNC, Belichick. I heard stories around this parts that the football team got $20 million for NIL when Bill showed up. Now NC State getting $20 million. Wake Forest getting $20 million. Now everybody looking around, you're not that much better. Now we're going to see who's who and what's what. I like it. I never was a fan of paying these guys millions of dollars to play college sports. But it's here now. We're here now, but I think it should be balanced. And it's almost like a salary cap where, all right, you can use it all here or here, but somebody's going to be lacking. And we'll see who's who and what's what after that. But, I mean, it's changing, but will it contribute to diva attitude? Yeah. You're going to get that one kid that didn't have anything?
Yep.
And all of a sudden now he got $1.5 million and he's on a college campus? Speaking for self, I don't know what I'd be at 19 years old with $2 million on playing at Miami basketball or football. I don't know what kind of person that is.
You hit the nail on the head, George. 617.
What did George say?
Do it again, George. Yeah, that's what you be on. 617-779-0985. Listen, I'm going to take this one more. I'm going to take one more call because I think this will be a beautiful segue into what we want to talk about next. Let's go to Jasper and Newton. What's up, Jasper?
Hey, how are you, fellas? I'm just wondering because I'm from Vermont, down in Mass for the Sox game tonight.
Yep.
Scored some tickets, but my family, we already got my dad a grill.
Yeah.
We got it for him earlier in the week. What's the protocol tomorrow for Father's Day? Do we cook him up something nice? Like, would we buy him some meat, let him cook? I'm just wondering what your thoughts are.
Jasper, bless your heart. I love the fact that you brought him a grill. You cannot let him cook on the grill though tomorrow. Get his permission and cook something for him on the grill. Matter of fact, no, because he probably wants to bless it. Yeah, ask him.
Ask him what he wants.
Yes.
But let him break it in.
Yep.
If he wants to make his steaks, let him, wherever he wants to cook, let him break it in. Don't have that man stand up there for 10 hours cooking for everybody else. Let him cook what he wants, how he likes it. And then you guys as the son, y'all slowly take over. Pop, we got it. Yep. Go sit down, watch the game, put your feet up, enjoy that steak you just made. We got the rest of the afternoon.
And here's why I took that call. Because when we get back, I need you guys to contribute. This is for the fathers out there. What's that one sports memory with your dad or as a dad that still gives you chills when you think about it today? Again, what's that one sports memory with your dad or as a dad that still gives you chills when you think about it today? Call us up, 617-779-0985. Cerrone, get yours ready. George, get yours ready. I got mine ready. Happy Father's Day Eve to all the fathers out there. But Father's Day music is trash, so that's why we went with Tupac today. His birthday is Monday. It's 9:05, the Sports Hub.
Stay tuned for more from Leroy. Sports Hub.
985 The Sports Hub. Leroy Irvin, he's Cerrone Battle. George back there. It's a Tupac Saturday. Before we get into the phone calls, the phone lines are just going off. People want to share their memories about their father or as being a father. They want to talk about it. That's great. If you get your notebook, your note app ready, if you've ever dreamed of being a professional athlete, I have an opportunity for you. I'm going to tell you about it later on in the show. But the question was asked, what's the one sports memory with your dad or as a dad that still gives you chills when you think about it today? Cerrone, let's just give ours really quick. I'm talking about 15, 20 seconds. My best memory is watching my sons play football and them looking up into the crowd pretty much before every single play. Them making sure that I'm paying attention. I'm always paying attention, but just that yearning for them to want to make sure that Dad, look what I'm about to do. I'll never forget that. I'm about to get emotional now, and I'm not going to do that on air, but it's just phenomenal. Cerrone, what about you?
Same. Well, with my kids was when we came to North Carolina, first thing I did, got the kids into sports, got them into different things. They was right at that age. And my oldest son went out, he played basketball. And the first time watching him practice out there, it was like, the shaky chin.
Yep.
Then my other son came around, they played baseball together. And when my oldest got his first hit, he gets on base and he comes around and scores.
Yep.
And I still got pictures of that. But the images of him crossing home plate with his teammates is quivery. And then my daughter last month ago, she finally got on. All four of my kids have played something. And my daughter just got on. She's playing volleyball now.
Wow.
And to watch her finally go out there and do a thing, it's like, let me go on the bathroom. Let me go in the hallway. And it's a proud moment watching your kids hit that moment.
It is.
I have one with my father, but I'll get into it.
George, who you got? What you got?
Love it. Love the topic here. So thank you, Leroy. You know, honoring the old men over here. My kids are still a little too young. I was that dad that did bring my kid to Fenway as a 6-month-old. But that aside, I have a good sports memory with my dad, God rest his soul. On his birthday was a big tradition of his, bring us to Fenway. And this one time, we got to witness a walk-off. One journeyman by the name of Mike Lansing. He hit a very similar to Carlos Narvaez in the sense this was a bases-loaded situation. It was a walk-off. They were down by 2. They were down 6-1 really in the game, but they're down by 1 at the time, and he hit a wall ball single. We stood there. We got to watch it and celebrate, and just so a memory I hold near and dear. I get to scour the internet and I find the video,
wow.
So I'm able to re-witness it. And
the
good old days, Jose Offerman, the Nomar Garcia Pars of the world. And
that's what's up.
Walk-off.
Beautiful. 617-779-0985 is the number. The question is, what's that one sports memory with your dad or as a dad that still gives you chills when you think about it today? Cerrone, we're going to go to the phones. Nate in Hanover, what's yours, brother?
Yeah, so I got 2. So my first one, as a kid, my dad was my youth basketball coach and benched me because I dropped the F-bomb as an 8-year-old. And then the second half of this is watching Paul Pierce's final game at the Garden and then watching the Patriots come back 28-3.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Jeremy in Worcester, what's your story?
Hey, how's it going? I have 2, actually. One is I got to see Rocket Rogers. I seen Roger Clemens. My step-pops brought me to, I think it was my first Fenway game. But the one that resonates the most with me is I got to see the great Michael Jordan play in the old Garden against the Celtics. Unfortunately, Larry Bird, it was the year after, so it was like 92, 93.
Yep.
But I did get to see Jordan and got to see Pippen, got to see the great late Reggie Lewis as well. So that resonates near my heart. So thank you, Kevin. Shout out to him, my stepfather.
Oh, wow. Man, y'all
y'all
don't make I don't want to get emotional. And again, feel free to shout out that father once you tell your story, whether they are here or not. We're going to show the father some love. Let's go to Jared in Plymouth. Jared.
Hey, thanks, guys. Love listening to the show. Look, I'll never miss an opportunity to talk about this play, but it was Malcolm Butler against the Seahawks. I was about 12 years old. I'll never forget tackling my dad into the couch. You know, Jermaine Kearse made the catch down the sideline. I thought it was over. and from out of nowhere, Malcolm Butler. And they would have won that Eagles Bowl if he played too. Thanks, guys. I'll hang up and listen.
Malcolm Butler also made the tackle on the Jermaine Kearse miraculous catch, the only one with his head in the game. So shout out to Malcolm Butler.
Oh, my God. Again, the number is 617-779-0985. The question is, what's that one sports memory with your dad or as a dad that still gives you the chills when you think about it today? I'm getting emotional. I kid you not. I'm not ashamed. My eyes are watering up. I think it's beautiful. Let's go to Pat and Franklin. Pat.
1986, Red Sox at the Angels, 2 outs, bottom, top of the ninth, Dave Henderson, kaboom. I was 12. Me and my dad hugging. Oh, amazing.
Great stuff.
I heard the shakiness in his voice, man.
Yeah.
Yo, dads are for real, man. Like, I know Father's Day, it gets treated as like an afterthought, but there's value.
Yeah, it's important, and you can hear the importance of some of these callers. And, I just was going to add one real quick with my pops. He wasn't sports. It wasn't so much sports. It was Southern type sports.
Yep.
Fishing.
Yeah.
Pops. He was big, huge, still is. Huge outdoors, huge whatever. And I remember the first fishing trips. I remember the second. I remember all of them. And those are the moments that stand out.
Yep.
And then to fast forward, again, we went on a trip, went with my father. And then to see my daughter, who at the time might have been 3 years old, driving his fishing boat. And to see it all, it was almost very full circle.
Yep.
To see my kids on the boat with him. And when my grandfather passed in 2015, I believe it was, my father said his first major memory with his father was when my grandfather took him fishing.
Man,
I never forget that conversation.
Let's go to Eddie and Lowell. Eddie.
Hey, gentlemen. Thanks for having me on.
No doubt.
So me and my son are Panthers fans, Carolina Panthers, and we're living up here in Mass. And I remember when the Panthers lost, he cried and, just comfort him, tell him everything's okay. We're going to the game in Foxborough week 4, and I can't wait to make some memories. But he's never been a Bruins fan.
Yeah.
And at a game, I took him to a Bruins game, and he's real reserved and quiet. And I remember him just screaming at the top of his lungs, yelling, "Get it out, get it out, get it out of the end zone." And, ever since then, we watch hockey every week, and I can't wait to go to that Patriots-Panthers game.
Oh, man, beautiful. Let's go to wow, man, I'm getting emotional. I got to stop. Let's go to Steve and Stoughton. Steve.
Yeah, I like to talk about my experience with my daughters, coaching them in softball way back in the day. I'm an old timer, but that was a great experience. And another one was I coached my son in basketball, and I loved every minute of it. It was the greatest experience of all, of my life, pretty much.
Appreciate it, Steve. Wow. Let's go to Bill in Needham. Bill.
Hey, guys, I just want to share 2 quick ones. One is last year, my dad, season ticket holder of the Celtics, so to experience the NBA Finals together. I'll never forget that, even as a 33-year-old guy now. But when I was 12 years old, my dad used to work on Yawkey Way when he was a kid and teenager at a souvenir stand, and he knew guys that still worked on Yawkey Way in 2004. And we got to sneak off of Brookline Ave into games 1 and 2 and watch the Red Sox pull it off 86 years later. And I'll never forget that with him. I was 12 years old, and I'll never forget that experience ever, ever, ever.
Wow, that's what's up. Wait, Jake in Manchester. Jake.
Yeah, hey, guys, can you hear me all right?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. So my brother, I've lived in New Hampshire almost all my life, and my brother was hit by a car as a child, became a paraplegic, unfortunately. But the point is that to stay active, he joined a wheelchair basketball team called the Stainless Steelers. And in the 80s, for a fundraising event, the New England Patriots decided to take on the Stainless Steelers. These are giant football players in tiny wheelchairs. Tony Eason, Raymond Claiborne, Mosey Tutupu. I don't know if you guys are old enough to know who those are, but it was so cool to watch it with my dad and be proud of my brother, who was bound to a wheelchair and still is, unfortunately. But it was really cool to see these New England Patriots that are now classics try to handle themselves in a wheelchair and play basketball at the same time. It was really cool.
Beautiful. Jimmy in New Hampshire. Jimmy.
Hey, guys. Happy Father's Day to both of you.
Thank you.
My favorite moment was when my son Nick, his junior year for a high school here in southern New Hampshire, they went to the state tournament and won. But the bigger joy was when they went back again senior year and he hit a wall ball to win the second championship in a row at Delta Dental Stadium, and that's no easy task. So, guys, thank you, and enjoy your Father's Day, guys.
Appreciate it. Thank you for sharing. Brian in Norwood.
Hey, what's up, fellas?
What's up?
My favorite memory was on Father's Day. It was my first Father's Day as a dad. So my pops takes me to the Red Sox game. It's 2000, I think, 10 or 11, the year the Bruins won the Stanley Cup. And we're at Fenway. Tyler Sagan threw my dad a hockey puck because they brought the Stanley Cup out to to Fenway.
Yep.
And then after the game, fathers and anybody was invited to go walk the warning track and visit I got to touch the monster with my dad, pesky pole, stuff like that. My dad had tears in his eyes. I'm watering up right now. So my dad was there when my sons, I was coaching the Little League, had their first hits. So God bless dads. Thanks, fellas.
Stuart in Watertown, man.
Hey guys, how you doing? Happy Father's Day. Listen, I got one about the father, me, and my daughter. And she was 5 years old. We're outside of Fenway. It's her second baseball game, seeing the Sox. Somebody came from the Red Sox organization, young woman, says, "Hey, how would you like to be a ball girl tonight before the game?" And I'm thinking, I'm more excited than my child. She gets chosen. Yep. We get on the field for Fenway. This other ball girl, who sits in the corners over there, and she takes her to the mound with a rosin bag and a baseball. It's the cutest thing you've ever seen. She goes out there. I'm like clapping. Yeah. I'm making a fool of myself, and she comes off the mound, and I walk up through the box seats, and I say, "This child came from my loins. My loins."
Yep. Oh, man. Thanks, Stuart, man. And last one, Andy in Taunton. What's up, Andy?
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Good.
So I'll be brief, but I had my dad is the greatest man alive. He got me season tickets as a 7-year-old in 1993. But the greatest memories I have are that 2001 season, seeing Joe Andruzzi run out after 9/11. I was at the I think it was the same game that Mo Lewis, Patriots all-time MVP, gave us Tom Brady. But the Snow Bowl against Oakland, that's the one. That was just unreal, getting to spend that time with my dad and all the guys around us. So I'll leave you with that. Just happy Father's Day, guys, and I appreciate listening to you.
Thank you.
I'm fathers out there, man, just know y'all are loved. Sometimes we don't feel it. Sometimes we wonder if we're appreciated, but we are appreciated. We are loved. And I think all of those stories were great examples of it. Y'all keep your heads up. Keep doing what you're doing a fantastic job being a father. We'll be right back. I got some information for you, the players call, and then we'll be done for the day. It's 9-5, the Sports Hub.
More Leroy Irvin and Cerrone battle on the Now, Leroy Irvin and Cerrone battle on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Welcome back, 98.5 The Sports Hub. If you know me, then you know I have no shame in expressing how I feel. And I'm telling you right now, that last segment with people calling in, telling us about their favorite moments with their father or being a father, especially related to sports, that was special. And I appreciate everyone who called in and shared. It's great. As a father, my father's gone. I miss him. And as a father, like I said, sometimes you feel like, is what I'm doing, does it really, not that it doesn't matter. And I'm sorry because I'm getting a little bit choked up, but y'all get what I'm saying. Fathers understand. And it's just good to know and feel the love and appreciation. So that's what's up. Right now, we're going to do the players call. All right, y'all know the deal. This is the time when we take time to show love to someone who's done something phenomenal in sports or in our everyday lives. Now, before we went to break, I said, hey.
But I'm going to be Mr. Generic right now. All of the real dads, shout out to all the grandfathers, biological or step. It's the one who steps up and deserves this honor of Father's Day weekend. The one who instills traditions, discipline, strength, how to respect, raising boys how to be men, raising women to be independent. I've been 12 years without mine. He was a cheat code for me, so it hit me right in the feels. Loved that last segment, and I think about him every day still. So I see all the real fathers, and enjoy your weekend.
That's right. Appreciate you, George. Cerrone, who you got?
I got a great Father's Day gift coming to myself. My boy graduates high school.
Wow.
On Monday, so my player's call goes out to my son Isaiah. He's graduating from Wake Forest High School on Monday, actually, and it's the best Father's Day gift that you ever can receive. Your son moving on and taking his talents to UNC Greensboro. So, player's call goes to him and to all the fathers out there, to my father and all my friends and family that are fathers, all you guys, and some of you guys I'm gonna see this week. I'm going to see y'all this week. We ain't had time to get into it, but I'm going to see some of y'all this week. But shout out to all the fathers out there, my father and my son, as we celebrate great Father's Day weekend.
That's what's up. All right, so if you guys are interested in being a professional football player, my player's call goes to former Patriot, Super Bowl champ, Tully Banta-Kane. He hit me up, and he let me know, like, hey, listen, the Beach Football League is going down. So if you're interested, the Beach Football League, July 19th through the 20th, is going to be at Hampton Beach. Matter of fact, the address is 169 Ocean Boulevard, Hampton, New Jersey. It says we're partnering with Hampton Beach to host a 3-day beach festival with beach football tryouts, activations, and live musical performances, and it says we'd love to see you there. So again, New Hampshire. Oh yeah, New Hampshire. July 19th through the 20th. I'm still a little bit thrown off by the last segment. I'm sorry. And if you want to register, if you want to
take your time, brother.
I know. If you want to participate, if you want to try out, go to beachfootballleague.com. I'm telling you, when you go there, the homepage, it'll say register. Do that, and on that weekend, take your family out there and enjoy yourselves. So that's that. Listen, we're out of here. Again, thank you to